Okay, so here we are. We are going to work to hide this tail. And I can tell you that I know for certain for myself, I am likely going to want to wear my hat folded over this way. So when I hide the tail that is now on this side of the fabric, the inside now becomes the right side. I'm going to hide it carefully. If there are days that you may want to wear it with the brim down as well, then you're going to want to be extra careful to make sure that you hide the tail in a way that's totally invisible. My first step is going to be to bring the hat and turn it wrong side out. Then I'm going to turn the work so that the bind off is towards me and the cast on, the crown, is at the very top. Now, I can clearly see here that my tail, after the very last step of that sewn bind off, my tail is at the start of one of these vertical rows of knit stitches. So what I'm going to do is I am going to insert my needle into the stitch that's directly next to where the tail is coming out of. I'm going to insert it knitwise and then work in a circular motion. I call it swooping, but I don't think that's a technical term. I'm going up and around, grabbing just the right leg of this vertical row of knit stitches. What do you think? Do you like the word swooping? I like swooping. And I'm going to keep doing that, catching only the right leg. And then I'll pull this through. So if I pull it, you can't even tell that that is there. So I'm going to keep doing this up and around, possibly to the top, just to make sure that I have enough of a tail that if it ever comes out, I can weave it back in comfortably. So I'm going to keep swooping all the way up and then come down the other side. This, if I flip it, this now becomes the right leg, and I'm going to swoop like this in a counterclockwise fashion. And then that's it. I'm going to snip my yarn somewhere halfway in the middle, and I'm done hiding my tail. If you want to stick with me and watch me do it, you can. Otherwise, you are done. Your tail is hidden. The last thing you'll need to do is weave in the tail at the crown. So since we used a tiny cast on at the top, we only had on 8 stitches and we were working in magic loop, you'll want to use that tail to close up the little gap, the little hole that's at the crown. And would you like me to share with you how to do that? Stick with me. I will be happy to do that. See you there. Bye. Here we are, last step of the knitting part of this hat pattern. We have this little hole at the crown because we cast on 8 stitches and worked in magic loop. And now we have this tail that we need to weave in. So doesn't it make sense to use the tail to close up this little hole? So since my tail is coming out here at the bottom, what I'm going to do is I am going to pick up the 8 little cast on stitches that we did at the beginning. So I'm going to insert my needle, that's 1, and I can quickly identify them, 2, work your way around picking up the individual stitches, and as I do it, I am tightening the tail. Ooh, it's gray on gray, so it's kind of hard to see. Here we go. And there, one more. I even lost count here, it doesn't matter. I'm just kind of looking for where the tail is. Last stitch right here. Did you count how many that was? I didn't. It doesn't matter. I picked up all the little loops at the, hopefully you can see that were at the hole, and now let's see, I'm going to tug on it, tug tightly, and see if it closes my hole. And yes, it did, beautifully. So now I can take my darning needle and insert it through the hole. Insert my left hand into the hat so that I can pull the hat through to the wrong side. And now it's as simple as hiding my tail into the knit stitches on the wrong side. All right, that was super simple. I wanted to cover it in case any of you had questions on how to close the tiny hole at the top of the crown. You've now seen me do it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I'm sure you will confidently be able to weave in the tail. Thank you so much for sharing this project with me.